Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowes.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
War Eagle, and welcome to another edition of Ever to Podcast. This is the show here at E2C Network where our goal is to catch you up on the latest Auburn news, topics, discussions, things that are happening about in the Auburn experience when you're trying to discuss it around the water cooler, social media, wherever it might be. Let's talk about it. Auburn sports, Auburn culture, Auburn family. If it's orange and blue, it's what we do. So thank you so much for joining us in what we're going to be doing for episode 107 of Ever to Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Kyle Loomis. Today's date is August 7th, 2026. Happy August to those of you who are just not realizing it's August, I guess. I mean, it's 7 days in August. Let's stop talking about August. Let's talk about Auburn. All right, so yeah, the drill is as normal. We'll walk through a lot of the different news categories, mainly a lot of the program stuff for different sports programs, others as well that you need to be informed on. We are obviously at the very beginning of the athletic and academic calendar year. Well, technically it starts next week with soccer officially getting going, but for the athletic calendar year, and then after that will be the athletic. I'm getting them mixed up. The academic calendar year, you get the drift. Basically, the next 2 weeks, things get really rolling for all things Auburn, at least the university-wise. So let's start you off with some Auburn in the pros, as we've been doing a lot throughout this summer. Some interesting things this week. Casey Mize, you'll remember him as an Auburn pitcher, and obviously the number one overall draft pick, went to the Tigers, has been out there with Detroit for many, many years. Had a rough start to his career, but really has come on strong over the last couple of years, make it to the All-Star game, all that kind of stuff. There was a lot of chatter that he might end up at the Atlanta Braves, which would have made a lot of Auburn fans who do tend to have an affinity towards the Braves very happy. It didn't happen. He does go to the San Diego Padres, so completely the opposite side of the country that maybe people were hoping he would go. From what I understand, he had a pretty rough debut for San Diego Padres in his San Diego Padres uniform. I'm struggling to talk tonight. I don't know why. But obviously, even if it's just one outing, I'm sure he'll get it back on track. He's an excellent pitcher, as he showed for many years now in the MLB. But congrats to him on his new home. We are sad that it didn't end up with the Braves, though. DeWanna Bonner, now, first of all, you should know the name. She is probably Auburn's greatest women's basketball prospect. There are several great names in Auburn women's basketball, but I think in terms of just the person that has done the most at Auburn and post, the list goes on for her. And she's adding to this here with WNBA things that she is either climbing towards the top or at the top of the list. So first one, she has now played in the second most career WNBA games of all time. So that's 566 games. It's an incredible amount. It shows you how long, not only, it's one thing to have played in that many games, but also the amount that she has won as well, which leads us to our next point. She is now the winningest player in WNBA history. I want you to think about that, folks. I know a lot of people don't, love to follow the NBA or things like that, but to be the number one player who has won the most games in the history of a sport, that is absolutely incredible. That's across regular season, the playoffs, all of it. She's passed names like Lindsey Whalen, Sue Bird. If you followed the WNBA, you may recognize those names. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. This is just two of the lists that she has topped off: points, assists, rebounds, things like that. DeWanna Bonner has rewrote the record books in a variety of ways. At Auburn, WNBA, one of the best to do it, period. Over, done with. Got some university news, and it's actually university sports news, but not the varsity sports or the NCAA sports. We're talking about some of the club teams. I always like to give you an update when we get something like that. Ice hockey is a program that does a really good job of sharing its stuff on social media. Keep in mind that if I'm still correct, they still play their matches out in Columbus for home, but they have released their 2026-27 schedule if you want to take the opportunity to go see them somewhere they're playing, or if you want to see them in Columbus where they play their home matches. So home-wise, they'll be taking on South Carolina, LSU, Florida. Then they'll head on the road to Tennessee. And back home, it looks like for Georgia. Actually, that looks a little bit confusing there. I think that may be away. Back home for a team whose logo I don't understand on that one. Ole Miss will be away. They'll have alumni weekend. Then they'll be away for Alabama. Home from Alabama. Away for Alabama, and then they'll have at the SEC championships and things like that. A lot of matches with Alabama to round out the end of the year, which will make it very fun. Very fun. The Iron Cup, I think, is what they call it. So there you go. You can check a little bit more of a in-depth look at the schedule at the ice hockey, the club ice hockey social media if you'd like to see some more of that. More scheduled news for you, and this time it's for baseball. Yeah, listen, fall is approaching, but we still talk baseball here. Fall ball is back, or will be back eventually on October 10th, in Pensacola, Florida, Auburn versus Florida State. If you've been paying attention over the last couple of years, you'll see that Auburn and Florida State have had this matchup down there at least one other time. I feel like several times at this point. From the views, and I'm looking at one right now, it looks like an absolutely incredible ballpark to do something like this in. It's for the minor leagues. I forget which minor league team is down there in Pensacola, the Wahoos, something like that. But they're going to play Florida State down there. Obviously, a nice convergent point for the two of those programs, even if it's in the state of Florida, and I think that should be a great event. So if you can head down there to support what will be your new Auburn baseball team for the season in their fall ball, it's a great opportunity and a great venue to do that in the fall where it's going to be pretty warm down there at the beach. Softball news. We've got our head coach, or one of our head coaches, Coach Chris Malveaux, who was named to the United States women's national team in softball and was going to be participating this summer with them, and he did, and congratulations to him and the team. They have taken the gold medal in that. Shouldn't surprise you. USA softball is pretty good. The national team is always pretty good. And it's just a great honor that Auburn's head coach, one of their head coaches, would be representing and get that gold medal as part of that team. So congrats to Coach Malveaux. A little bit of softball news that they shared this week. This isn't like just, stuff that happened right now, but this is the programs are kind of giving you a lot of the accolades that happened in the last year. Something to keep in mind, what I know wasn't the most exciting year outside of the ending for Auburn softball. Last year, even with all that, they were top 15 in total attendance, and that's a really incredible feat to be able to be in the top 15 of all the different programs out there. So hopefully this third year for the coaches, Malveaux, as I call them, will not only show the attendance numbers, but the numbers out there on the field as well. Basketball is in Europe. If you haven't heard already, they were able to take and schedule and now take a trip to Europe to play some international basketball. They've done this in the past. They've gone to Israel most recently. The team has been out there for the last couple of days. They're taking in Greece right now, and they're about to head to their location where they'll be playing some international teams out there. These won't be televised. There'll be very little content or things like that coming out. What will be shared and things like that and already is being shared is through the Auburn social media accounts. So I would highly recommend that you follow them so you can just see some of the fun things that they're doing to connect and bond as a team. But whatever they can share to us about what the action of the basketball that's being played overseas. So that'll have some more information coming out as time goes on. Women's basketball schedule news as they continue to fill that out. I've actually never heard of an event being held up in, I guess, Gatlinburg or the Great Smoky Mountains. The two non-conference matchups in the Cherokee Invitational up in the Great Smoky Mountains for Auburn women's basketball. On December 20th, they'll take on South Florida at 8 p.m. Central Time, and then they will take on Tulsa the next day at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. That's actually really cool. It's not a place that you think of basketball being played a whole lot, and they're playing at the Cherokee. Interesting. I'm going to tune into that one to see what that looks like and feels like. It's just not a place that you typically see those type of mid-season, middle of non-conference tournaments being played. So more scheduled news for you there for basketball. Another accolade for Mr. Jackson Coyven. It's like, duh. We just hand these things over to him now and not even make a big deal about it, but let's at least talk about it. He is officially your Roy F. Kramer SEC Male Athlete of the Year award. Big, big honor for him. Very much deserved with that final year that he had here at Auburn. Here's some notes that Jeff Shear, the Auburn team reporter, even shared a little bit. This is the first men's golfer in the award's 51-year history. I want you to think about that. First one to do it ever in men's golf, and it's an Auburn guy. So history right there.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in-store or on Lowes.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel, maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
The first male Auburn Tigers winner since Bo Jackson in 1986, and this now makes him the fifth Auburn winner all time. The other ones being Harvey Glance in 1976, Rowdy Gaines in 1981. Just listen to these names, folks. Harvey Glance and Rowdy Gaines already. Bo, as we mentioned, in 1986. Kirsty Coventry in 2005. And then 2026, Jackson Coyven. So think about that. You have represented track and field, swimming and diving for the men, football, swimming and diving for the women, and now men's golf. That's a great list. You want to talk about Mount Rushmores of people you should know? That's a good one right there, even if it's 5. Remember, Mount Rushmores are 4. People struggle with that sometimes. Congrats to Jackson. Quick note for women's tennis as they continue to replenish after their historic season. They have signed yet another individual out of Scottsdale, Arizona, Maya Iyengar, I think is how you pronounce that. And she's coming to play for Auburn this year. So welcome to the Auburn family. Speaking of people that are going to be part of programs soon for track and field, they're going to have several individuals that'll be competing in the World U20 Championships. So that's August 7th or 9th in Eugene, Oregon. Got 4 different individuals representing the Bahamas, Barbados, Mexico, and Australia out there. Carlin Archer in the long jump, Katia Rock in the 400-meter, Christina Garcia in the 100-meter hurdle, and then Daniel Williams in the 800-meter. So you can check them out. I'm sure that will be on TV. It usually is when they like to showcase that venue out there in Eugene, Oregon, whenever they can. So some future stars maybe for the Auburn track and field program. A lot of lists here for football. We are officially in preseason, and yes, I'll mention at the end, it was the first week of practice. But let's talk about this first. Different award lists are starting to put their watch lists out. There'll be several more. In fact, when I'm recording this, I already know that there's going to probably be one tomorrow. I'll just go ahead and say it. The Lou Grosso Award, I think, comes out tomorrow, a watch list, and we know Alex McPherson should be on. If he's not, that's a travesty. Anyway, I'll keep moving forward here. The ones that have been named at the time of me recording this, the Maxwell Award, Byron Brown, Jeremiah Cobb. Makes sense. Running back 1, quarterback 1, duh, right? The Nagurski Award, probably the first of many nominations or watch lists for him, Xavier Atkins, on the Nagurski Award watch list. The Remington Award, or the Remington Trophy watch list, will go for Cole Best as well. That one should be probably pretty obvious as well. And this was one I forgot existed. The Patrick Manelli Award, which I guess is for specialist or long snappers. Hudson Powell has been named to that watch list as well, so congrats to him. A couple other notes here before we acknowledge the start of fall practice. There are more kickoff on the plains. The first game with Southern Miss available. They have sent back an allotment of their tickets. There's an allotment that goes to the away team on September 12th. So if you have not been able to get tickets to kick off on the plains, now you have more opportunities to do that. It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be one of the few evening games of the entire year. So come enjoy it. I know I will. But you can come to the game if you have not been able to get a ticket right now. There are more available. Speaking of more events around the games of the season, yes, out there in Atlanta, there will be Auburn versus Baylor, as much as we'd like for that to be in Auburn. We've said it 1,000 times. I won't beat that bush again. But other festivities for you. They're going to be hosting an Auburn versus Baylor War Eagle Plus tailgate that you can take part in. It's open to the public with some, I think there is a ticketed option to it as well. That'll be 11:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at Stats Brew Pub on Marietta Street in downtown Atlanta. More details on Auburn Tigers social media if you want to look into that. The Sporting News put out their all-decade All-American team, and the Auburn Tigers have 3 representatives for it. Terry Beasley in the 1970s. Of course, it was going to be Bo Jackson in the 1980s, and then also Tracy Rocker in the 1980s. That's a nice little pairing there of the offensive guy and the defensive guy of the 80s, probably the strongest points of that as well. Nice to see Terry Beasley being mentioned on that list. I feel like sometimes, as one of our greats, he gets forgotten about a little bit. It's good to see the Sporting News has not forgotten about him. Soccer is almost ready to be fully underway. In fact, this week they were supposed to be. They had an exhibition scheduled and have another one coming up. With Georgia, they traveled all the way out to Athens, and then storms rolled on through. I experienced some of them myself, I'll be honest, and canceled that game, so we didn't get to see a little early action from them, which is disappointing, but rather than be safe. So a couple more things here. Ellie Redman has been named to the United Coaches Defenders watch list. Just another one of those preseason award things for you to keep in mind. Last 2 things that we have, because I keep promising we'll mention fall practice for football here, and I promise we'll get to it here. TV schedules for 2 of the other fall sports, things or opportunities for you to be able to watch them, not just on SEC Network Plus, which most everything is televised these days. On SEC Network Plus, but on the actual national television. So the SEC Network for soccer, when they play Tennessee at home on October 1st, that will be live on television, but hopefully you'll be there. And then when they go to Florida on October 22nd, that will be on SEC Network as well. For volleyball, there will be 3 opportunities on the SEC Network, 1 on the ACC Network, for volleyball to be seen on national television. When they take on Florida State down in Pensacola, it's because we talked about baseball, in Tallahassee, September 8th on the ACC Network. The rest on the SEC Network, October 11th versus Ole Miss. I'm messing up completely, guys, and I'm sorry. Y'all can just chalk this one up to a very late night of recording, guys. October 1st versus Ole Miss, Oklahoma, October 11th, and Alabama, October 23rd. We're going to make it through this one. This is one of those times where y'all get to just laugh at me and can tell that I'm obviously very, very tired, but we do this because we enjoy it. So those are your TV schedules for fall and for some of the other sports that you can pay attention to other than football, and you should be paying attention to some of those. Lastly, it is fall practice officially for football. It is underway. As of recording this, they are 2 practice days in. The Friday that you're probably listening to this or hopefully listening to this, they are on an off day. And will be, I believe, practicing in the stadium on this Saturday. They are 13 days at the start, going back to the start of this camp, which was when they reported on Tuesday. They are staying off-site for 13 days at a golf hotel resort close in the area to kind of get away, connect, bond, remove distractions. It's a different thing. A lot of people are responding to that in really good ways. So far, so good. The vibes seem pretty good. Even Coach Golish, who's been pretty honest about some of the things that he needs to see improved, has said pretty good things about practice and things like that. I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you spend some time watching the press conferences, watching the interviews and Q&As that are being done with coaches and players. We have put those that have been provided by the athletic department out on our YouTube. You can also find them on Facebook. There are media members doing great work, sharing other content out there. But please do yourself a favor as an Auburn fan. Take the time to listen to the words straight from the mouths of the players and the coaches. That will get you the information that you need, not something that I regurgitate or anybody else out there regurgitates, straight from them, and you can build your predictions, your narratives, all the stuff that we're starting to do right now with just fall camp, even just starting, coming straight from the tiger's mouth, not the horse's mouth, the tiger's mouth. A lot of great content. It's exciting. It's fall camp. Boys and girls, we are going to have a lot more to talk about here as the weeks go on and on. I'm excited. 2026-27 athletic and academic calendar year is basically underway. We want to thank you guys for being here for this episode 107. Thank you for dealing with me and my deficiencies at times, but hopefully you got a good laugh out of it. As always, we want to give you an opportunity to connect with us. If you would like to, email is a great option, e2cnetwork@gmail.com. Our direct messages should be open at most of our social media sites. If you're accessing it that way, you can reach out to us for anything, comments, questions, suggestions of topics, anything that you really like. Those are opportunities for you to connect with us on a more personal level if you need some type of access like that. But we'd love to see you on live streams, other content, other podcasts that we're putting out there. We appreciate you being part of our little family within the Auburn family. And as we go, I'll remind you the Auburn Creed. Ask you to do justly, love mercy, and to walk humbly with God. We're going to ask you to do the same thing. War Eagle.